It's crazy to think of all the television we consume, but it's even crazier to think of all the programs that never see the light of day. Today, we will be looking throughout television history at some test shows or pilots that were never picked up, never released, or unknown if any plans were made for a series. This iceberg chart was started by MetaRuner on icebergcharts.com and contributions made by other internet users. Let's begin. A Kitty Bobo Show. I talked about this in my Cartoon Network Iceberg, but the Kitty Bobo Show was a pilot that aired during Cartoon Network's Big Pick Marathon in the summer of 2001. It was a contest to see which cartoon would be made into a season the following year. This lost to the codename Kids Next Door. A storyboard for a second episode will be found several years later. The Modifiers. The Modifiers is an animated short created by Chris Riccardi and Lynn Naylor that was pitched to Nickelodeon but did not get picked up. It aired on Nicktoons back in 2007. Larry and Steve. The Life of Larry was a short created by Seth MacFarlane in 1995 as his thesis while attending the Rhode Island School of Design. In 1997, MacFarlane was asked to make another Larry and Steve short for Cartoon Network's What a Cartoon anthology series. These two shorts would be the predecessor to MacFarlane's series Family Guy, with Larry and Steve heavily influencing the characters of Peter and Brian, respectively. How I Met Your Dad. How I Met Your Dad is an unaired pilot that served as a spin-off to the sitcom How I Met Your Mother. CBS would ultimately pass on the pilot. In 2021, another attempt at a spin-off of How I Met Your Mother, called How I Met Your Father, aired on the streaming service Hulu. Valley Girls. Valley Girls was a backdoor pilot that was the 24th episode of the second season of Gossip Girl. The show was in competition for 3 possible pickups for the CW's upcoming television season, and was passed on in favor of the shows Melrose Place, The Vampire Diaries, and The Beautiful Life. Crash Nebula. This is also talked about in my Nickelodeon Iceberg if you want to check that out, but a Crash Nebula pilot aired as the 11th episode during the 5th season of The Fairly Odd Parents. It had done well, and soon plans for a series and a feature film were in the works, but for unknown reasons, were cancelled. Supernatural Bloodlines. Supernatural Bloodlines was a proposed spin-off to the series Supernatural that aired as a backdoor pilot in the show's 9th season, but was not picked up. Aquaman. Aquaman was a proposed series by the creator of Smallville about the DC Comics superhero. Set to air in the fall of 2006, it was passed on after the WB and UPN merged to create the CW. The episode was made available on iTunes, where it became the most downloaded television show. Bates Motel. Bates Motel is a made-for-TV film that is a spin-off to the Psycho franchise. It aired in 1987 on NBC, originally a pilot for a series, but was passed on. The Incredible Hulk Returns. The Incredible Hulk Returns was a television movie that aired in 1988 on NBC as a continuation to the Incredible Hulk TV show. It served as a backdoor pilot to a Thor-centered series that did not get picked up. The Farm. The Farm is a backdoor pilot that aired during The Office's 9th season. It was to be focused on the character Dwight Schrute's Beet Farm. It was not picked up. Trick Moon. Trick Moon is an animated short created by Geneva Hodgson, who is a storyboard artist on the show OKKO Let's Be Heroes. The short aired on the Cartoon Network YouTube channel in 2020 and was pitched to Cartoon Network, who ultimately passed on it. Bubsy. Bubsy is a gaming mascot for the company Accolade. The video games featuring the character have received negative criticism. In 1993, a pilot episode was produced, but was not picked up due to negative reviews. The Crystal Cube. The Crystal Cube was a pilot written by and starring actors Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie in 1983. It was not picked up by the BBC, and Laurie and Fry would get another chance at a TV show in 1989 with their series A Bit of Fry and Laurie. AJ's Infinite Summer. AJ's Infinite Summer was a pilot released by Cartoon Network in 2014 by Toby Jones, who worked as a writer and storyboard artist on the regular show. At this time, it is unknown if it will be worked into a full series. The Oaks. The Oaks is a pilot episode pitched to Fox in hopes to compete with other shows like Lost, Desperate Housewives, and Grey's Anatomy. It would end up not being picked up. Constant Pain. Constant Pain was a pilot created by Micah Wright and pitched to Nickelodeon. However, around the time of the pilot, the September 11th plane attacks had happened, and due to a scene involving a similar scenario with a blimp, the show was not picked up. Back to Backspace and Pillylag's Mansion. Back to Backspace and Pillylag's Mansion are two pilots that were released in 2014 for Cartoon Network. It is unknown if there are plans to produce a series for either pilot. Gen Z. Gen Z is an unaired pilot with the only footage coming in the form of a 2-minute promo. It is unknown what plans were made for this pilot. Gibby. Also talked about in my Nickelodeon video, Gibby is an unreleased pilot for a spin-off of the iCarly character of the same name. A script is available to read on the Internet Archive. Welcome to Eltingville. Welcome to Eltingville is a pilot created by Evan Dorkin based on his comic series Eltonville. The episode, titled Bring Me the Head of Boba Fett, premiered on March 3, 2002 on Cartoon Network's adult block Adult Swim and was not picked up. Swingin' Together. Swingin' Together is an unsold pilot that aired in 1963 on CBS on the show Vacation Playhouse, an anthology series of unsold pilots. Shooter. Shooter is a made-for-TV movie that aired on NBC in 1988, originally intended as a pilot, but was not picked up. Mirrorball. Mirrorball is a pilot for a series that aired on the BBC in 2000. It featured most of the cast from the show Absolutely Fabulous. It was not picked up when creator Jennifer Saunders was inspired to revive Absolutely Fabulous in 2001. Jerk of All Trades. Jerk of All Trades is a pilot created by the Three Stooges in 1949 and filmed before a live audience. The series never went into production due to a conflict of Columbia Pictures, who had them under contract. The Invisible Woman. The Invisible Woman is a television movie that aired in 1983 on NBC, originally intended as a pilot that was not picked up. Doorways. Doorways is an unaired pilot produced in 1992 for ABC by George R.R. Martin that was not picked up. Mr. Bevis. Mr. Bevis is the 33rd episode of The Twilight Zone that served as a backdoor pilot and was not picked up. The Orson Welles Show. The Orson Welles Show is an unsold pilot of a talk show starring Orson Welles. It was produced between late 1978 and early 1979. This Space for Rent. This Space for Rent is a pilot that aired on the Canadian Public Broadcasting channel CBC Television on January 4, 2006. It was proposed to be picked up with 2 other shows, but they were all passed on. I'm Poppy. I'm Poppy is a pilot episode starring the singer Poppy that premiered on YouTube Premium on January 23, 2018. It is uncertain what the future of the series is. Hollywood Confidential. Hollywood Confidential is a television movie that aired on UPN in 1997, originally produced as a pilot in 1996. Plymouth. Plymouth was a pilot for a science fiction series that aired on ABC in 1991, but was not picked up as they felt it did not meet their needs. Out of the Trees. Out of the Trees was a pilot produced in 1975 by Monty Python member Graham Chapman, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy author Douglas Adams, and Bernard McKenna that aired the following year on the BBC but did not get picked up. Tony's Boys. Tony's Boys was a backdoor pilot that aired during the 4th season of Charlie's Angels that was intended to be a spin-off but was not picked up. It was about a woman named Tony that ran a detective agency with 3 men. Dynamice. Dynamice is a pilot episode pitched to Cartoon Network created by Butch Hartman. I can't find very much information about it online. Korgoth of Barbaria. Korgoth of Barbaria is a pilot for a series created by Aaron Springer, who worked on shows like Samurai Jack and SpongeBob. The pilot first aired on Adult Swim on June 3, 2006. 2 weeks later, it was announced that the show had been greenlit, but was soon cancelled due to high production costs. Walter. Walter is a pilot for a spin-off of the series MASH that aired in 1984 on CBS, but was not picked up. Lock and Key. Lock and Key is a pilot episode for a series based on the comic book series of the same name. It was pitched to Fox, who ultimately passed on it. While editing this video, I learned that Netflix produced a Lock and Key show, which premiered in February of 2020. Guess Who Died? Guess Who Died is an unaired pilot for a sitcom created by legendary TV creator Norman Lear that was pitched to NBC but was passed on. It was then pitched to other networks like YouTube Premium and Amazon, but they too passed. Here Comes the Queen. Here Comes the Queen is an unaired sitcom pilot pitched to BBC, who did not pick it up. I cannot find much more information about it online. The Art of Being Nick. The Art of Being Nick is a pilot for a spin-off featuring the Family Ties character Nick Moore. NBC decided not to pick it up in fear of the character losing popularity. The Groovenians. The Groovenians is a computer-animated pilot pitched to Cartoon Network that aired on Adult Swim on November 10, 2002, and a year later on Cartoon Fridays on February 21, 2003. Due to negative reviews, Cartoon Network passed on it. It was then brought to MTV and VH1, but they too passed on it. UFO Kidnapped. UFO Kidnapped was a pilot produced in 1983 that was pitched to Nickelodeon, but they passed on it. It features most of the cast from You Can't Do That on Television. She, or Security Hazards Expert, is an action film from 1980. I can't find anything that says this was planned to be a pilot for a series. Sid and Marty Krofft's Red Eye Express. Sid and Marty Krofft's Red Eye Express was a late-night variety special that aired on CBS in March of 1988. It was the lowest-rated program on TV that week. From what I could find online, this looks like it was just a one-off special and not a pilot for a series. White Dwarf. White Dwarf is a science fiction TV movie that aired on Fox in 1995 and received negative reception. It was intended to be a pilot for a series, but did not get picked up. 3 Inches. 3 Inches is a TV movie that aired on Sci-Fi in December of 2011. It was pitched as a pilot to Sci-Fi, but was up against another pilot called Alphas that had a similar premise. Ultimately, Sci-Fi went with Alphas, and 3 Inches did not get picked up. Space Kataz. Space Kataz was a proposed spin-off of the Adult Swim show Aqua Teen Hunger Force. A 6-part miniseries was planned, but Adult Swim passed on it as they thought they could not make 5 more episodes, as all the characters died at the end of the pilot. Cat Squad. Cat Squad, also known as Stalking Danger, is a television film that aired in 1986 on NBC. I can't find any information about it being pitched as a pilot. The Rear Guard. The Rear Guard is an American adaptation of the British sitcom Dad's Army. The episode The Deadly Attachment was adapted and aired as the pilot on ABC in 1976. Since it was not picked up, the original tapes were wiped. Copies are in the possession of the pilot's director Hal Cooper and other producers. Tinseltown. Tinseltown is a pilot made by the Jim Henson Company that aired on the Logo Network in 2007. It was about a puppet bull and pig couple named Bobby and Samson alongside a cast of human characters. The pilot was not picked up and has since been removed from Logo's website and has not been found elsewhere online. All Signs of Death. All Signs of Death is a pilot produced in 2010 based on the novel The Mystic Arts of Erasing All Signs of Death by Charlie Huston. HBO later announced that they would not be picking it up, and the pilot went unaired. Battlestar Galactica: The Second Coming. Battlestar Galactica: The Second Coming was a film produced in 1999 as a proposed pilot for a sequel to the original Battlestar Galactica from 1978. The finished edit ran for 30 minutes, and a trailer was shown at DragonCon in Atlanta in 1999. The pilot never got picked up, and a reboot of the series would be later released in 2004. To my knowledge, the pilot has never been released. Graffiti Rock. Graffiti Rock was a hip-hop based show among the likes of Soul Train and American Bandstand, hosted by Michael Holman. Intended as a series, it only aired one episode on WPIX Channel 11 in New York City on June 28, 1984. Heat Vision and Jack. Heat Vision and Jack is a pilot for a science fiction comedy series created by Dan Harmon and Rob Schrab, directed by Ben Stiller and starring Jack Black. It was pitched to Fox in 1999, and while it did not get picked up, it became a cult following online in later years. The Best of Times. The Best of Times is a pilot episode that aired on CBS in 1983. It was going to be a replacement for the show Square Pegs, but due to negative reviews, it did not get picked up. Rebel Eats. Rebel Eats is a television pilot that aired on Food Network in 2013, hosted by Justin Warner. It is unknown why it was not picked up. Breaker. Breaker is a buddy cop TV film starring Carl Weathers and Joseph Bottoms that aired on ABC in 1985. Originally intended as a pilot for a series, it was never produced. Rabbit Town. Rabbit Town is a TV movie that aired alongside the previously mentioned This Space for Rent on CBC television on January 3, 2006. It had the highest ratings of the three pilots that aired that night, and was positively reviewed by critics, but for unknown reasons was not picked up. X-Men. Pride of the X-Men. X-Men Pride of the X-Men is a television pilot that aired in 1989. A full series was never produced due to the financial issues Marvel was having at the time. The Owl. The Owl was a television pilot based on the 1984 novel of the same name by Bob Forward. It aired on CBS in 1991 as a pilot that was not picked up. Hellbenders. Hellbenders is an animation by Chris O'Neill, also known as Oni Online, and Zach Hedel, also known as Psychic Pebbles Online. A short called Appaloosa was uploaded to Hedel's YouTube channel in 2012, while a pilot apparently pitched to Adult Swim would be leaked and later uploaded to YouTube in 2017. Hedel would later go on to create Smiling Friends for Adult Swim. Heil, Honey, I'm Home. Heil, Honey, I'm Home was a British sitcom about Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun, who lived next door to a Jewish household. It was first broadcast in 1990, where it caused controversy and was considered the most tasteless sitcom. The series was canceled after the pilot, with 8 of the 11 planned episodes already recorded. The Three Stooges Scrapbook. The Three Stooges Scrapbook was an unaired pilot starring the Three Stooges. After no network wanted to pick it up, it was divided into 2 films shown in theaters in 1963. Enter Mode 5. Enter Mode 5 is a pilot created by Gabe Swar for Cartoon Network in 2007. I cannot find much information about it online. The Adventures of Superboy. The Adventures of Superboy is a pilot produced in 1961 to capitalize on the success of the series The Adventures of Superman. It was never picked up. The Adventures of Superpup. The Adventures of Superpup was another attempt at capitalizing on the success of The Adventures of Superman. It was produced in 1958 and not picked up. The Amazing Screw-On-Head. The Amazing Screw-On-Head is a comic by Mike Mignola in 2002. In 2006, a television adaptation was released on Sci-Fi's website with a survey to decide if it should be picked up. Mignola later stated that Sci-Fi had chosen not to pick it up. Totally for Teens. Totally for Teens is a pilot produced and pitched to Adult Swim, who aired the pilot in January of 2011. The status of the show is uncertain, and Comedy Central expressed interest in picking it up. Shangri-La Plaza. Shangri-La Plaza is a musical comedy pilot produced in 1990 and pitched to CBS that did not get picked up. Snake and Bacon. Snake and Bacon is a pilot based on a comic book that was produced and pitched to Cartoon Network for Adult Swim in 2008, but was not picked up. Wolf's Head, The Legend of Robin Hood. Wolf's Head, The Legend of Robin Hood was a film released in theaters in 1973 that was originally intended as a TV pilot for 1969. Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars was a television film that aired on ABC in 1983, originally intended as a pilot that did not get picked up. FBI, Code 98. FBI Code 98 is a pilot produced in 1962 that would later be released in theaters. Peter Gunn. Peter Gunn is a TV movie that aired on ABC in 1989. It was pitched as a pilot to reboot the Peter Gunn franchise, but a series was never produced. Here Comes Tobor. Here Comes Tobor is a series meant to spin off the 1954 movie Tobor the Great, but only ever had a pilot episode filmed. Freeman. Freeman is a pilot that aired on ABC in 1976 that was not picked up. Knights of the South Seas. Knights of the South Seas is a pilot that ended up being combined with a second episode into a movie called Hellship Mutiny. Gavin Crawford's Wild West. Gavin Crawford's Wild West was a series planned in 2011, but only a pilot was produced that aired in 2013 before CBC dropped the project. Popeye Doyle. Popeye Doyle is a TV movie that aired on NBC in 1986. It was a sequel to the 1971 movie The French Connection and the 1975 French Connection 2. Originally intended as a pilot for its own TV series, it was not picked up. Our Shining Moment. Our Shining Moment is a 1991 TV movie that aired on NBC. It was a pilot for a series that was never produced. The Norliss Tapes. The Norliss Tapes is a TV movie that aired on NBC in 1973 that was a pilot for a series that was never produced. Ally and AJ, Sister Act. Ally and AJ, Sister Act was a special aired on MTV in August of 2007 featuring the musical duo Ally and AJ Michalka. It was a pilot for a series that never materialized as the two sisters were too busy. Let's Join Joni. Let's Join Joni is an unaired TV pilot produced in 1950 for CBS for a potentially weekly or bi-weekly live show starring Joan Davis based on the radio show Leave It to Joan. Currently, it is available to watch on the Internet Archive. Tarzan and the Trappers. Tarzan and the Trappers is a 1958 movie comprised of 3 pilot episodes intended for a series that did not come to fruition. Exo-Man. Exo-Man is a TV film about the superhero Exo-Man. It has been described as a cheap imitation of Iron Man that was not picked up due to lack of merchandising appeal. Rat Bastard. Rat Bastard was a pilot based on the comic of the same name. It was produced in 2000 and pitched to UPN but was not picked up. Monsignor Martinez. Monsignor Martinez is a show from the series King of the Hill. A live-action pilot produced to spin off the series was thought to be lost, until it was found in 2021. Amanda Fallon. Amanda Fallon is a pilot that aired in 1973 on NBC to spin off the show The Bold Ones, The New Doctors, but was not picked up. Call Her Mom. Call Her Mom is a TV movie that aired on ABC in 1972 that was originally a pilot. Stone Street. Who Killed the Centerfold Model? Stone Street Who Killed the Centerfold Model is a TV movie that aired on NBC in 1977 that was originally a pilot. What's Alan Watching? What's Alan Watching is a pilot produced by Eddie Murphy about a teenager named Alan who views his family as if they were on TV. It aired on CBS in February of 1989, but was not picked up. Which Way to the War? Which Way to the War is a pilot for a British sitcom that aired in August of 1994. It received negative reviews and was not picked up. Three Dog Band. Three Dog Band was a cartoon created by Paul Rudish that was part of Cartoon Network's The Cartoon Institute, another attempt at a cartoon anthology series like the What a Cartoon Show that did not come to fruition. It is uncertain what the future of Three Dog Band was. ATF. ATF, or Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, is a TV movie produced in 1999 on ABC, originally as a pilot. Earthbound. Earthbound was a 1981 film that received a limited release run after it failed to get picked up. Maggie, It's Me. Maggie, It's Me is a pilot that aired on BBC in 1977 that was passed on. 110 Lombard Street. 110 Lombard Street was a pilot produced in 1987 by the Chicago comedy group Second City. It starred actors before they were famous like Mike Myers. The pilot was available for viewing on the Second City YouTube channel, but has since been privated. Puchinsky. Puchinsky is a pilot produced in 1990 and pitched to NBC, who passed on it. It was about a cop whose spirit is transferred to a bulldog after being killed. Police 2020. Police 2020 is a pilot for a British crime drama from 1997 that did not get picked up. Rex is Not Your Lawyer. Rex is Not Your Lawyer is an unaired pilot for a legal drama starring David Tennant that was filmed in 2009 and screened in early 2010. It would end up not being picked up by NBC. Poor Devil. Poor Devil was a pilot that would end up airing as a TV movie in 1973, starring Sammy Davis Jr. as a demon in hell who wants a promotion but is told by Lucifer, played by Christopher Lee, that he must first convince an accountant to sell his soul. The film also starred Adam West. Mr. Dugan. Mr. Dugan is a pilot starring Cleavon Little as a black congressman. It was set to air on CBS in March 1979, but was pulled from airing after negative reception from a test screening of real black congresspeople. Oh No, Not Them. Oh No, Not Them is an unaired pilot for an American adaptation of the British series The Young Ones, produced in 1990 and pitched to Fox, who did not pick it up. See China and Die. See China and Die is a television film aired in 1981 on NBC that was pitched as a pilot for a series called Mama the Detective, but did not get picked up. Baffled. Baffled is a TV movie starring Leonard Nimoy on NBC in 1973 that was pitched as a pilot for a series that was not picked up. Penguins Behind Bars. Penguins Behind Bars is an animated pilot about a female penguin prison pitched to Adult Swim in 2003 but was not picked up. Creator Janet Perlman states that she does not own a copy of it anymore, but is in the possession of Cartoon Network. In 2017, it was uploaded online but has since been removed. That Crooked Sip. That Crooked Sip was a pilot pitched to Adult Swim that aired in May of 2007. It was greenlit for 6 more episodes, but only one, titled Spring Freak, was produced, but never broadcast. The pilot would later be reworked into a special called Freaknik the Musical, which aired in March of 2010. Saddle Rash. Saddle Rash is a pilot created by Home Movies and Bob's Burgers creator Lauren Bouchard that aired on Adult Swim in 2002. I could not find much information about it. Imp Inc. Imp Inc. is a pilot that also aired on Cartoon Network during the Big Pig Marathon in 2001, but did not win. A Matter of Wife and Death. A Matter of Wife and Death is a TV movie that aired on NBC in 1975 as a pilot and is a sequel to the 1973 film Seamus. Casanova Cinnamore. Casanova Cinnamore, or Casanova Without Love, is a telenovela produced by Telemundo that ended up being cancelled. So this last layer is all references to a sketch from the comedy show Whitest Kids You Know about racist show pitches. Sorry to end the video on this note. Hi guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun researching and making this video. A lot of pilots. We looked at like 60 years, 60, 70 years of television. So many shows. And that was maybe only in the beginning. There's probably even more that isn't even on this list. There's some that I could think of that weren't even on this list. But, yeah, if you'd like to support another effort of mine, I am a musician also. I do drum covers on another channel, which I will link in the description. If there was a pilot that you didn't see on here that you'd like me to talk about in the future, you can comment down below, or you can add a proposal on this Iceberg chart. The link to that will also be in the description. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Really happy to have another Iceberg video out. I have a good feeling about this one. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on these videos. What pilot on this Iceberg would you want to see made into a show? I thought like Constant Pain and Rat Bastard were really cool. Gen Z, that one looks awful. But Tinseltown, someone has to find that one. I want to see that one. But, yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.